Hello and welcome back to Rob Makes Prog. So last time we were writing the translating the guitar parts from the improvised bits into MIDI, and we also wrote some bass parts to go along with it and kind of tried to get some sort of semblance of structure in there. And since then I have, which was yesterday, and then half of yesterday and half of today I've spent recording all the bits in. So I'm going to play to you now what I've done. It might be a bit messy. Let's have a quick just glance through to make sure we're not covering up anything important, because you never know. Yep, here we go. You just see it there. And we'll... yeah, that's fine. There we go. So there's mostly there. No sax parts as of yet, because we haven't written those. I want to do that on screen with you. If these even need sax parts, which I'm doubtful of. It's quite busy and heavy. It's quite heavy. It's quite metally actually, which is interesting. So, oh yeah, saucepan. I forgot about that. We'll leave that off for now. So yeah, let's play it through. Should we play the whole song to start with before we get on with anything, so you can hear where we are up to at the moment? Still bits I need to go back and edit here. That I need to do these background vocals for this. I haven't done that yet. I keep forgetting. But okay, let's just check everything that should be on is on. Should that be on? I don't know. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put everything that's audio on. We should probably have some flute. Oh no, that was on the other bit, wasn't it? That's all MIDI. We'll leave that off for now. I'll show you that later. We want that mellotron on. There we go. Okay, so this is the track from the beginning so far. It's about... how long is it? That's a good question as well. Oh, we're pushing into the 6-minute mark already. Oh, that's unexpected. But there we go. This may end up as a long one then.
Together to battle for mastery of our fate. We will not allow this force to strip away everything we fought so hard for. We won't be restrained. To our aid, it will be us that need your attention. Our bodies may be on the ground, but we stand proud amongst our dead, and we all know we won't be leaving here alive. but we still hold our shields.
And there we are. So, as you can hear, it's pretty exciting, but it sounds like a complete cacophonous mess. That's also something that's happening. Modulation doesn't need to be there at all. I can just go to there. These can move across. Sorry, just tidying up a bit. There we go. So a couple of things. One was that I had an idea of having a alternate bass line, so I'd recorded both to see what they sounded like. So one goes like this. We're just going to completely solo the bass track here, with the drums maybe. And then the other one goes like this. You can hear that. And I like both of them, but I feel like this bass line here doesn't work so well. Oops, wrong one soloed. I mean, it's kind of nice in isolation, but when everything else is going on, it doesn't really feel like it's going with the parts beneath it. So I'm wondering if instead we stick this part in instead, basically. So we'd have. Hang on a minute. Excuse me. You need to do that. You need to make sure that you're not overlapping in any terrible places. So you're just going to slot straight in. Yeah, there we go. So if I remove this and just plonk it straight on the top, that might sound better now. So let's see what that sounds like. I wish there was a mute or MIDI button sometimes. Oh, that's a group track. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that's some vocal. I'm going to get to that. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, I think that works better than what was there. So if I get rid of that, we've got a bit like that later on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Which means I can now get rid of these extra. Oh, something else in that track? Oh yeah, that's fine. Can I get rid of these? Because we don't want superfluous tracks hanging about being in the way. Right. Okay. So. It's still, yeah, it sounds like a cacophonous mess, so that's something we're going to sort out. One of the other things I did, though, was I'm trying to play with some vocal ideas. So trying to see what vocals might sound like over these bits. So I've kind of sang over them. I've kind of sang over them in a wordless sort of blah, 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 blah way. Like, there's no real form to them. There's just, like, sort of sounds that sound like they could be English. But I definitely just gobbledygook nonsense. But it's to get a feel for what sort of vocals might go there. I've only just done one take, and they might not end up like sounding like this anyway. But I'm going to play you from back here what they might sound like. I haven't listened back to this myself yet, so this might be some. I might regret pressing play here, but here we go. You might regret me pressing play here as well. Let's see. Oh. Let's turn the sax MIDI off. We actually didn't have the sax on for most of that playthrough we did either. Don't know that one. Probably not going to say that one. Yeah, so being a bit silly really, but it's fun. That's like I really enjoy doing that. I would probably do a few more takes of that at some point, and just to try and work out what's going on, where the vocals might go, how they might sound, how they might fit in with everything else. But for now, we'll mute that straight there, and we'll have a look at something I've been meaning to do for a while, because it's probably best practice to have been doing this from the start, and I have not been doing it. And that is essentially gain staging. Wow, why some of this is so big compared to the others in terms of like how big the waveform is, which shows it's much louder. Try and get them all kind of in a similar space, in a similar uniform space to start with, and then I'll use some like measuring tools to sort of like actually get them right. But I'd like to try and do it track by track rather than each individual piece. See, guitars are coming in incredibly hot. It's because I've not been paying much attention to the gain staging of these things, or even what all these parts are. Like I can't even remember what all these bits are. So we're going to have a look at all of those. And yes, that's basically what we're going to be doing today, because we're in basically a review stage of what's going on. But you can tell where I've had to turn the gain up and down as I've gone during this, and also like this was actually recorded all in one go. So this is like heavy chords, and this is like singular notes, so they all like behave a little bit differently. Just a little bit annoying, really. What I'd like to do as well is sort out some folders so I can start like hiding a lot of this MIDI. Like these can all go in a folder. Right, let's do that. Let's just start tidying up so we can see what we're doing a bit better. So we've got vocal MIDI in here. That's going to be color coded to match that, or vaguely match that. They can all go in there. Close that folder down. Great. And we've got 4 actual vocals. They probably won't close this folder much, but we're just going to put all of these vocals slightly different colour. All of them can go in that folder, and close that. Then Mellotron, I don't know what these guitar and flutes are doing down here. They can just go, they're not doing anything. That's a saucepan, that can stay there. And I think that's the right colour for a saucepan. We've got 2 Mellotrons here as well, if you're only using one. So we'll remove that top one. We can always set another one up if we need it later. Then we've got 3 sax midis. Why have we got 3 sax midis? I don't know, but we can remove one. We usually have one, and then we have the transposed ones that I actually play from. That's what this track is here. So they're fine. They can stay there. They're not taking up too much room. Then we'll have a right guitar folder. Probably keep that open. So we're going to be looking at a lot of that, and the same for the left guitar then as well. Audio, not audio. Add track folder. Left guitar. say left guitar. Guitar 1. I should get my terminology all sorted really, because this is all guitar 1, but it's actually, I'm thinking of it as left guitar now, so there we go, that's fine. Improvised guitar. Nothing in that track. That must have been from something else. Okay. And we got the violin there. I think that's in the way. We want the bass guitars and the sax to be together really. So I'm going to move the violin. Oh, this is so annoying. Down here. Oh, there's probably a quicker way of doing this. Maybe just like shortening the size of the things, but let's just get that down there. Out the way for now. And then we're going to select. Oh, what's this noises track? That's not doing anything either. Off you go. Right. We're going to select every audio track. Flute's not doing anything, but I'll leave that there in case we end up using it. Not the MIDI, even though we're using that. And then we're going to add into the inserts one of these on each one. Which is my preferred VU meter. And I usually have one at the top and one at the bottom. I've already got one at the bottom on here, but because I'm doing it to all of them, I'm going to add another one in. And then delete one. Which doesn't make much sense, but it does. So that goes at the top. That goes at the top, so I've got to go through and just make sure these are all in the right place. So start at the top would be the best thing to do. So on the bass track we've got one at the top, one at the bottom. Perfect. On this guitar we've got one at the top, one at the bottom. So there's a reason for why I do one at the top, one at the bottom, and that is because I can get the. This is about if you're not familiar with gain staging. This is my idea of what gain staging is, what it should be. Whether it's like the right thing or the universally accepted thing, I don't know. But this is what I've been shown and what I've been taught by various people and friends, and I trust what they're on about. And so I try and get everything coming into this one. So this is the first thing that's being picked up on. So I want it's set to -18, and I want everything to be sitting in this sort of like 0 to around 0 to 5 bracket, but closer to the 3 if I can. Not going into the red pretty much at all is the idea. I think this is going to be flying into the red. I'm not sure. Let's see now. Oh no, okay. What about further on in the loudest part? I mean, it's not too bad, is it? We can at least boost all of this up here to try and match that a bit. That's better. Let's test it here as well. Yeah, that seems like it's coming into at about the right thing. This here looks pretty quiet until it gets to about this bit, so I'm going to just split that there, and I'm just roughly doing this as well because this isn't a final track, but I want to get a better balance. It's sounding very cacophonous and everything's bleeding over each other and it's in the right mess. So that's good. Yeah, that's coming in all right. Yeah, if it's getting up to the 1, I think that's fine. It's my main concern is it going over that 0 more than anything else, really, or being so far down you can't really hear what's going on. Closer. I think we're all right. This is coming in okay. Oh, that's coming in a little hot. So we just drop that down a little. Yeah, that's seeming okay. Last check. Yeah, fine. I'm happy with that. There's not going to be many problems if it does just peek over it slightly. So then we've got all of these things happening in between, and then we've got this VU meter. And my expectation here is that this is going to be off the scale. So let's find out if I'm correct. Whoa, yeah. Yeah, so something is seriously boosting that beyond what it needs to be. So we're going to turn everything off individually, and then edit the settings of these. So we've got the Molotov here, which is a compressor. It's coming up. Okay, we're going to adjust that. It's coming in on mono. The makeup isn't. I'm going to really compress it. I'm going to put it up to like 6. So it's being really quite compressed. I might get the knee down to about 50. It's not quite hitting where we want it to. It's slightly below still. Turn it up a little bit on there. There we go. It's probably barely audible to you. That's because everything else is super loud as well. But now it's getting hitting the meter where it should, which is nice. In fact, let's mute the guitars. Bring the drums down a bit. Okay, that's a little bit more acceptable. Okay, we're going to put the bass knob on now. She's coming after the compressor. I'm wondering if it should be the other way around. I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point, because this is not the proper track. Yeah, that's going to be pushing it right out. I can tell just by the way this is set up. Also, the cab can make it feel really, really muffled. You can turn that off. Put it onto no cab, and then we might do that. Because it's not ideal. It's I wanted a one knob thing. I could just push a bass through basically, and this was available, so I took it for quite cheap. Yeah, look at it firing out there. So we can take the input down a bit. We'll take the output down a bit as well. A little bit more gain gives a little bit more high end and actually makes it a little bit clearer. So we might. Thank you, saxophone. If we take the cab off, what happens then to the meter? Not a lot. Still coming in a bit hot. That's more like it. Okay, that's that. So that's basically. Oh, and then we've got the frequency as well, which is a bit of EQ. And I've randomly just shoved on it, not really knowing if it's doing a lot. I can't even remember what decisions I made. and that's pushing it out even further again. So we want to... Okay, and then this has got a handy little volume knob on it, slider, so...
Beyond the trees.
Okay, so that's now coming through pretty good. The sound of it is terrible. I'm not very happy with the sound of it, but it seems as it's not the proper part. I'm not going to worry too much. All of these parts, I can't remember what they're all doing, to be honest. So we'll just stick with this part for now. It's actually not coming in too hot. Not hot enough even. See if that's consistent all the way along. Like, because if you take the amp off, this is what it's actually coming in like. So, what about further down the line? So okay, I'm just going to bump it all up a little bit. They'll definitely get added onto by the amp when it comes back in. Oh, that's coming in too hot now. Be compressed a bit by the amp as well, so I'm not too worried. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. It's not too bad. When the amp comes in though, let's see. So we're looking at this VMT down here now. This one can go. So this is after the amp we're looking at now. It's going to come in. It's actually not too bad. Gosh, I need to mute all of those bits. It's actually coming in pretty consistently around -2. Nice, okay. It's actually not too bad at all. I'm not displeased with that. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. This is the problem, is to do them all. So, but this is only a tiny bit. Do we even keep this bit? I don't even know what this bit is. I think it was just a... no, I don't think we need that. I don't know what that's doing there. If we do that, we can get rid of a track, and that's handy. Okay, let's try this track then. What's in here? Well, that's just those messing about bits. That's fine, that can stay there for now. I'm not going to bother gain staging though. Okay, that seems to be coming in fine. I'm not looking to increase that at all. Whoops. because there's no point because it's coming out. It's coming out all right. It's coming out right in the same place. Problem is, compared to the bass, it sounds very, very loud, and that's where things start getting problematic. But we can always. That's what these are. Oh, why is that all the way up there? That's a bit better. And this is this bit. Okay. That's fine. And then we can have a look at this bit. So I'm doing it quite quickly, really. I did it quite slowly on the bass because it's harder to get right. That seems all fine to me. Let's have a look into here then. We're going to test this one. There's only 2 tracks in here to do anyway. It's not a good place to start. Just mute. Let's mute those. And we've got no sound coming out of here. Why not? That's very odd. Why is there no sound coming out of there? Because this is muted. Aha. Coming a little bit hot there. Just turn it a little bit down on the amp. Move it. Yeah, so that sounds fine. And then we've got this one here. Ooh, that's going in that way. Okay, and then we've got the sax. That's coming in hot already. Whoa! And then let's just try and tame that a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that seems all good. So what I'm now going to do is a little bit of balancing and trying to work out what's overpowering what. Basically, I think all the guitars are going to need to come down. I should also check, that's another point, on the group tracks here. I should definitely do the same thing. Oops, one of them's ran off the screen over there. But basically they're fine. But it's worth a check. Again, this one's run over there. Coming in not hot enough there really, but I think we're all good. I think that's pretty much as good as we're going to get it for now. I don't really want to spend much more time on it because it's because I don't, and I should do that on all these vocals as well. I just remembered. Oh god. Okay, this is why you should do this before you start really. Not main vocal can go to the top, can't it? I say main vocal, it's the warbly bit. Okay, let's quickly go through these. In fact, I might just shortcut it a bit because we're going to use this as the controller anyway. So I might just see what it's coming through on here and get the balance by sound.
To battle for mastery of our fate. We will not allow this force to strip away everything we fought so hard for. We won't be restrained.
That sounds fine to me, to be honest. Not too worried about that. Then we've got the lyric choir. I should probably do it after the reverence, really, but it's not that important. So these are coming in.
Battle for mastery of our fate. We will
Try and drop these down a
this
little.
force to strip away everything we fought so hard for. We won't be restrained.
And this I can see is going to be alright anyway. Let's just double check.
But still we are.
Don't even know if we'll keep these. But that's all good, I think. This one might be coming in very strong. But we're not going to worry about that for now. We are just going to... I'm mostly concerned about this bit here and everything's going on. And I basically want the bass to be much more prominent, and I'm going to do that by dropping all the guitars by about 5 dB. Why is that automated? I don't even know why that's automated, so I'm going to stop that being automated. Drop the drums a bit as well. And then the bass is just not coming out very nicely. It's just not I kind of want it to come out a lot louder than that. You can't really turn it up any more than we've got it. That's the big problem. So it means you've got to turn everything else down. So let's go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. see how that's. I might even just do one more nudge on each. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Let's just go back to this bit and see how the sax is doing compared to that in terms of sound. Yeah, that's sounding a lot better to me.
Beyond the tree.
Whoa. I don't think they're gain stage very well.
Beyond the tree.
I've got to think of a better thing to say there than beyond the trees as well.
Beyond the tree.
Sounding a lot cleaner now, I think. Okay, and that's basically as far as we've got then, I suppose, for now. So that was a very much a tidying up session, wasn't it? It's like we're already coming up to the hour mark, which is generally how long I like to keep the episode. So I don't think starting anything new now would be a very good idea. But I think that was quite an interesting thing to do. Even if it took longer than I thought it was going to do. And it's really tidied up the track, I think. It's really like... You can really hear everything going on a lot clearer. not perfect. It's very rough as you can hear still. But these are all scratch tracks, aren't they? So it's going to sound a bit rough until I've sat down and learnt everything and recorded everything in again, which won't be till for months probably. It won't be months till I do that. That's kind of like the last thing I do. Like, well, I've got all the tracks ready, because I do them all at once, you see. So to keep them all consistent across the album, I like to change all the strings on my guitar, get it all like maintained and set up properly. I've got another guitar that I borrowed for the second guitar, so they don't sound exactly the same. Because I've only got one guitar, and then I sit down and I record all of the tracks in not in one session, but as close as possible in time with the same sets of strings, unless they start getting dull really quickly, in which case I'll put a fresh set on. But with exactly the same settings on the inputs and everything like that as well, so that they're really, really consistent with each other across the tracks. And then I start reamping them, because I just DI them straight in, as I've done with these tracks, and then I reamp them using I've got an orange TH30 with a 2x4 cab basically, and it's really nice. I really love the sound of it. I've got different valves in it than what it came with, and bought some new valves, and it sounds really, really crisp, really, really warm, which is why I really like orange amps. I think they've just got a sound that really suits what I like to do, really suits the guitar tones I like. I'm not an amp expert. I haven't gone around and tested all the amps, but this is sort of a lot of my favourite players using orange amps, and I thought, well, I'll try one out, and I really, really loved it. So I've had the same one for about 15 years now, and it's my only regret with it is it's got not very many tonal controls on it. It's when I bought it, I thought the fewer knobs the better, fewer things can go wrong. But as I've sort of learnt more and more about EQ sculpting and things like that, I wish I'd got one with a few more options. And maybe one day in the future I'll get something a little bit more versatile. But for now, I've got this, and it suits me. So yes, I'll be doing that. Same with the bass. I'll probably put fresh strings on it again. I go for a really sort of like clanky sound on the DI inputs, but then when I push it through the amp, I go for a much more warmer sound. But that clanky sound gives it resonance in the harmonic frequencies. So it helps bring it out. It helps it keep it from being so muddy in the track. So I try and get everything sounding pretty damn good as it's recorded straight into the system. And then when I reamp it, I try and get that sounding really, really good as well, and consistent with themselves and with each part, so that when it comes to actually mixing it, I don't have a hell of a lot to do, really. It's just tweaking it here and there and balancing it, and that's mostly, hopefully that's the more I refine the process, the closer it gets to that. Although there's always something that needs attention or doesn't quite sound right, or needs some frequencies cutting, or because there's a lot of masking that goes on, especially when you're using two guitars that are in similar harmonic ranges. Then it becomes quite easy for them to mask each other, and quite easy for you to overlook it as well when you hear these tracks as much as you do. And maybe that's the benefit of getting someone else to mix these things. But when you're trying to do things on a budget like me, then every little bit that I can do myself, I will. That's my philosophy. Well, it's my financial constraint. So just for interest, my first album that I did, Explode My Head, which you can find on this channel or on my Bandcamp page, which is robharrisonmusic.bandcamp.com. That album cost me around $5,000 to make, which compared to huge successful international groups, that's not very much at all. But for someone sitting at home with all their money coming from a part-time job, it was quite a lot of money. the idea was that I would hopefully recoup the losses of it. So a lot of the money went on vinyl production. That cost $2,000 in and of itself to get to about 200 vinyl made. But that was with a gatefold sleeve because of the way I made the artwork. Then a good chunk of the rest of the budget went on paying all the musicians who played on the album for me. There was quite a few different people who did different parts for me on that album, and you know, I pay all my musicians to I don't expect anyone to work for free for me, and I go on Fiverr and find musicians who are selling their work for me, and I've been working with a couple of different people on there that I've grown to have a trust for, especially the drummer Alessio Salveri. Highly recommend him. He's absolutely brilliant. And the rest of the budget then went on trial and error model making to make the set for the album cover and the subsequent animations, and then there was CD manufacturing as well on top of that, and all sorts of little bits. So yeah, that cost me quite a lot just to get that all built and stuff like that as well. That was about $1,500 to just for all the materials and stuff for the building of the set and all the plasticine and everything like that. That was quite a lot. And then for my second album, I managed to reduce the cost from around $5,000 to about $2,000. Firstly, by not getting vinyl made, which is a shame. I'd love to have it on vinyl, I really would, but I'm still haven't paid off the sales I've made from my two albums. Haven't paid off the cost of the first album yet, so that's not that just wasn't really an option. But I've got the vinyl master for the second album made, so one day if my work gets picked up by enough people, maybe I'll do a vinyl reissue or first pressing of vinyl for it. And then I reused a lot of the set for the first one as well. I cut it up and chopped it back together and repainted it and tried to reuse as many things as I already had, but then, you know, I still had to buy quite a lot of things to get it right. Still got a lot of materials left over for the third album as well, though, so that's not so bad. And then there was CD manufacturing on that, and then paying the musicians. But I also saved a bit by cutting down on the amount of musicians I used. Not on purpose, really. It was more of it's just how the album came out. And when a part needed another musician, I still went and got it. So it's all nothing to the my motto. The way I think of it is, the music is the most important. All decisions must be made in the context of making the music the best it can be. Budget be damned, basically, when it comes to the music. When it comes to everything else, the manufacturing, the artwork, all of that, that's where I'm going to have to make the cuts. So when I'm looking at this album, I've already put a violin part in here, so I already know I'm going to be paying a violinist to play that part in. Which means they usually charge by like every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds is a certain amount of money. So we'll see how much I end up with, and maybe I can keep you updated on like how much this is costing to make. At the moment, it's cost me nothing. I've already got Cubase. I've already got all my instruments. All of this I can do myself. All the artwork I'm going to do myself. All the animations for the video I'm going to do myself. I may have to buy a camera. That's going to be an expense. And I'm not working at the moment. So if anybody needs saxophone on any of your own recordings, please let me know and I can negotiate a price. That would be excellent. So thank you very much for sticking with me for this kind of weird episode. Next episode we're gonna be looking at potential sax parts for this bit. I don't want to overdo it here, so perhaps there's not going to be much. It might be like accents here and there. There's this bit in the middle that I think it would work well on. Where is it? Is it this bit? Yeah, I reckon a bit of sax on here, like they could join in with this line. I think that will work quite well. And then we've got to think about what happens next. Like we're already hitting nearly 7 minutes long, and we need to get back to bits that we've done before. No, we don't have to do those bits again, but we need to get the story of this bit. So we've got this bit, then this bit, and then this is like the battle bit, I guess, in my head. The fight between the two opposing... That's the monster bit, that's the battle between the two opposing forces. Then we need the resolution of the fight. Can't remember what this bit is here. Ooh, aftermath of the battle, maybe. So maybe it goes into this bit next, and then we get. I want more of this vocal stuff going on, possibly even in. There may be a bit in here where we can get that sort of like big choiry thing going on, and then we want some more big choiry bits at the end, perhaps. It just depends how the narrative feels, how it flows, if it hangs together as one piece, or if we're looking at splitting it again, because that might be the case if it doesn't all marry up together. There's a thing I learnt. I will sign off in a minute. But there's a thing I learnt when I did my degree, and it's a famous phrase that you've probably heard, but I didn't really understand it until I started like really making stuff myself. And that's the phrase of "kill your darlings." And what it means is, no matter how good you think something is, if it doesn't work, or it doesn't fit, or is extraneous or self-indulgent, then kill it, cut it out, get rid of it. And you always have to be mindful of that as you're going. As we're creating like this, I don't know if any of this is any good. I don't know if any of this is self-indulgent or extraneous or relevant. Like, maybe half of this will just end up on the cutting room floor. And maybe all of it will remain in the album. I don't know. We're going to have to see as we go. But yes, next time we move on. Thank you very much for joining me.